Good evening and welcome to a special edition of 60 Minutes. I'm Nick McKenzie. Tonight, an explosive year-long investigation by 60 Minutes and The Age newspaper will reinforce the distrust and contempt many Australians have for our politicians. This is a story which exposes one of the Labor Party's faceless men, Adem Somyurek. He's a Victorian Cabinet Minister on Labor's national executive and a factional kingpin who's consumed by the power he's amassed through blatant corruption. Now, normally we'd never know what goes on in the back rooms of Australian politics, but we've obtained secret audio and video recordings that catch out the real Adem Somyurek. The evidence is unequivocal. You'll be hearing his actual voice. And a warning, Somyurek's behaviour is not only bullying and misogynistic, his language is frequently offensive. This anonymous middle-aged man withdrawing cash from an ATM in the suburbs of Melbourne has no idea that for months now he's been watched. His name is Adem Somyurek. Most Australians have never heard of him, but he wears several hats. He's Victoria's Minister for Local Government and Small Business. The title he's worked hardest to achieve, though, and the one he desperately wants to keep, is most influential man in the Australian Labor Party. Just ask him.
I'm the fucking minister. I'm the most powerful man. I'm keeping up.
Anyone who's anybody in Australian Labor politics knows the name Adem Somyurek. Labor Party politics is brutal. It's vicious. It's unregulated, old-school cage wrestling. And when you win the way that Adem's won, first thing that happens is everyone scratches their head and says, who is this guy? And the second thing is, they all come for you.
He's going to do something, probably 60 minutes type of thing. But I'll make you. It's all right.
You're listening to actual audio of Adem Somyurek. And as you'll see and hear, he thinks he's so mighty he'll never be caught.
The story at the end of it will be, I'm this powerful guy. That's good for business.
But tonight, Adem Somyurek's in for a shock as we expose the rotten and corrupt operation this Labor heavyweight runs.
We're just going to be really fucking bad. We're going to be assholes and fucking bad. And loud.
People like Somyurek, and I've known a few of them over the years, have one ambition, which is to see themselves as the godfather of politics. This is their life. They relish it, being able to influence and control others.
This is politics like you've never seen it before. Adem Somyurek's quest for supremacy has now backfired because he's become the target of a year-long covert surveillance operation. 60 Minutes and The Age newspaper have obtained more than 100 audio and video surveillance files. It's undeniable evidence which lays bare the dirty underbelly of the ALP. What we reveal is as audacious as it is wrong. It includes corruption and cash drop-offs.
It's just an incredible compilation of damning material.
Fake ALP members and orders to forge signatures.
Commonly carries a heavy jail sentence, not months, years.
Taxpayer-funded rorting.
The guy got a $30,000 fucking pay rise. Because of a factional thing, and we're in a state of war.
And politicians turned into puppets.
We're going to take over. I'm going to fucking knock her fucking head off. She's a fucking psycho bitch.
By Labor's faceless man.
Oh, we just framed the joint. It's who I say is going to be the fucking premier.
To understand this highly organised operation, you need to understand branch stacking.
I grew up in the heyday of the New South Wales Labor Party. Right? I mean, branch stacking was a common practice. It was a common way of winning ALP disputes internally. It was about getting giant ethnic communities to join up en bulk to beat other communities and other candidates. I mean, it was framed as some kind of giant ideological conflict between the left and the right. In hindsight, it was always about power.
As former federal Labor Senator Sam Dastyari knows, it's also against party rules. And at its most corrupt, branch stacking involves putting masses of fake members into a political party. The more fake members, the more control you have over the ALP, and even who Labor puts into Parliament.
This idea behind branch stacking or active recruiting or whatever you want to call it simple. It's about me making sure there are more of my supporters there than your supporters who show up.
As you'll see, Adem Somyurek is a master in getting people to show up.
We're gonna join the Labour Party!
In January this year, 100 people gate-crashed a suburban Labor branch meeting in Outer Melbourne. The homeowner and Labor member says he was punched in the face. For Somyurek, this is just another day at the office. We've reenacted the vision, but you're about to hear actual audio of Somyurek boasting about the branch takeover.
Our little operation, the acrimonious as it was, has been very successful. I think we're about to take over that branch easily.
Great.
He jokes about the violence directed at the homeowner and Labor member.
You're very angry with him. You don't want to bomb his house.
On its own, it's shocking, but this is just the start of Somyurek's devious grab for political power.
They don't know. They're dumb. They're stupid. All these little fuckers. They don't know how fucked they are.
Coming up,
He became the Frankenstein of fractional politics.
dirty deals
And that's just wrong. It's just very wrong.
and dodgy politics.
They deserve to be punished. I just feel so betrayed.
How Adem Somyurek controls the party.
It's a very serious offence which carries a hefty jail term.
That's next on 60 Minutes. Adem Somyurek's journey to Labor Party kingpin wasn't simple. A Turkish migrant from humble beginnings, Somyurek started out as a taxi driver with ambitions of one day entering Parliament.
The idea that a Turkish taxi driver from the outer suburbs of Melbourne can become a cabinet minister is a great Australian story. It's a story that we should actually be proud of. That you can actually participate in a party, you can win support, you can build your base, and you can use that to propel yourself into Parliament.
In 2002, his dream came true. Like former Senator Sam Dastyari did with Iranian voters in New South Wales, Adem Somyurek attracted a new group of Labor members in Victoria's Turkish community.
Adem is smart, charming, funny, and in the half a dozen interactions I've ever had with him, I can see why people would follow the guy. You know, he's a likeable, charming bloke.
But it wasn't long before a less charming side of Adem Somyurek came crashing into public view.
It is alleged that his personal behaviour was of a threatening, intimidating nature.
Accused of standing over his chief of staff, the scandal threatened the stability of the Victorian government.
For months, I attempted to cope with the conduct.
Premier Daniel Andrews called an investigation by a former judge, and Somyurek resigned from the front bench in July 2015.
My resignation should not be taken as admission of guilt. I maintain my innocence.
If history tells us anything about Labor politics, it's that the faceless men of the party don't relinquish power easily. And Somyurek found his way back to cabinet.
Most people thought that he wouldn't ever be able to make it back after that incident. And it's a testament to him that he did.
Why did Daniel Andrews let him back into Cabinet?
Daniel Andrews, I can only assume, made the assessment. It's better to have him inside the tent than outside it.
You think Daniel Andrews was scared?
Daniel Andrews isn't the kind of guy who gets scared, but he's a guy who thinks tactically. And it will always be more his interest to have someone like Adem on his side than opposing him.
Exactly how Somyurek gained his power is only whispered about. Senior figures in federal and state Labor refuse to speak publicly about him. But former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd is prepared to say what everyone else in Labor is too scared to. What do you know about the political rise of Adem Somyurek?
He began, as I understand it, as a factional underling under the control of people in Victoria until he became the Frankenstein of factional politics. And that is, having been nurtured in this environment and having been a willing accomplice, he then became the kingpin himself.
The key to Adem Somyurek's power is branch stacking. He controls 2/3 of all Labor members in Victoria. And that gives Somyurek huge sway over who gets tapped to run for the ALP and who gets gifted the biggest prize in politics, a safe state or federal seat in Parliament. The first step in Somyurek's dodgy operation was finding loyal staffers to help him, demanding senior ministers of the Andrews government provide taxpayer-funded parliamentary employees to do his dirty work.
Luke Seaton, they're trying to take hold.
Again, we've reenacted the vision, but the audio is all real.
I said, the MPs we're meeting now, right? I said, this is what we're going to do. I want everyone to offer up a staff member. I said, you all need to know what the strategy is. The strategy is this.
You never see political corruption this blatant.
So what you've got to do December, what are they holding?
But this time, it's caught on camera. These young men are getting paid by taxpayers to work for Labor state government MPs. But what are they really doing on the public dime? Behind the scenes, Adem Somyurek calls these parliamentary employees his flying squad. And today, they're up to no good.
But the way I see it working now is that you're going to do the grunt work, or you're a flying squad too, wherever we're raiding next.
Always.
Meet Jake Cripps and Nathan Croft. They're getting paid by us, the taxpayer, to branch stack for Somyurek, helping him take over ALP branches and amass more power in the party.
Well, when I say the grunt work, most of the faction sort of secretariat, you two.
Yeah.
And that's, everything goes through you guys.
Cripps claims he's been given a job as a parliamentary employee to work in the office of an MP called Chen Q.
Yeah. I'm starting in Cairns on Monday.
I don't know what it takes to speak to Tian and get you everything.
Croft is also employed by the Parliament to work for Minister Robin Scott, who he says has also given him permission to branch stack at public expense.
And I spoke to Robin and he said on his days, and he's pretty chill.
Yeah.
I gave him the heads up that I was doing some of this stuff and he's like, have fun.
Eager to help, the young men joke about how they're signing up new members of the party.
We'll have a string of events and we'll knock up someone different for a whole bunch of that, and they're just recruitment events, so people get wowed. And then a few weeks in, they'll go from not being factional to they understand they're in a faction. Because there's a whole system set up to turn them into...
Yeah, you make them friends and then you tell them that
then you sit there and go, here you go, oh, there's factions and this is how this works and you're in this faction. And
I wish I could say it. I can't believe it, but it's happened. It's just wrong. It's just very wrong.
Why is the practice of using taxpayer-funded staffers to branch stack wrong?
Well, it's a criminal offence. If that was proved, it would be a strong case for criminal offences, and multiple criminal offences. I mean, It's a diversion of public money for an ulterior or improper motive, and that's just misconduct in public office, a very serious offence which carries a hefty jail term.
Senior barrister Geoffrey Watson SC has seen his fair share of corrupt politicians. He led the inquiry into former New South Wales Labor kingpin Eddie Obeid in 2012. But the conduct captured of Adem Somyurek is unlike anything he's seen before. What does it tell you about Labor Party politics?
Well, what it tells me is things haven't changed since the inquiries that I did in New South Wales about the Labor Party.
The investigation was prompted by Labor's use of taxpayer-funded electoral staff for party political campaign work.
The kicker is that 5 years ago, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews' government was busted using parliamentary staff for party business. They promised they'd never do it again.
Labor has repaid $388,000.
Is there any excuse for the Labor Party given they were warned?
No, none at all. There can't be any excuse for this. It's bad, and it's fundamentally bad. There's no innocent complexion to place on it. The fact that they were placed on notice so recently and told, stop doing this, only aggravates it.
Adem Somyurek tells parliamentary employees Cripps and Croft how he will make it appear as if they're doing what he calls proper work in the offices of MPs like Tien Q and Minister Robin Scott. But in fact, they'll be working for him, branch stacking.
Jake and Nathan, they're going to share the role in Tian's. Jake's going to be there 3 days. Nathan's going to be there 2 days, but Nathan always also works in the system for Robin, so he'll be doing work there. Robin won't mind. Kat's probably got him doing other stuff.
Yeah, she gets me.
To do proper work, yeah?
Yeah, she actually do a job.
It gets even worse. The recordings show Somyurek isn't the only powerful Labor minister exploiting the public purse.
Well, I've known Adem Somyurek for 12 years now.
Cabinet Minister Marlene Kairouz is Somyurek's trusted lieutenant. She's also Victoria's Minister for Suburban Development.
It's not a real fucking portfolio she's got. She says, I don't know what it means. It's not a real job.
But with friends like Somyurek, who needs enemies? He says his political ally doesn't do much as a minister, so her taxpayer-funded office helps him to branch stack.
It's a very lightweight fucking portfolio. It's just made up portfolio to make it look like we're interested in the suburbs. She admits that.
Marlene Kairouz is in fact very busy, helping Somyurek take over the Labor Party, branch by branch. In this recording, she's directing Labor staffers to find even more fake members to join the party.
You guys have come in now where we are in charge.
Yeah.
We're it. Everyone looks to us now for leadership, like whether it's in the parliament. People come to Adem and I, particularly Adem, like, they don't know anything.
Yeah.
So we are in charge now, and I think, when you guys know that, but I think you need to show that we are as well.
Strut around town.
Yeah. No, don't be arrogant about it. I'm just saying we're it. People don't do anything without us.
Yeah.
But we don't want to treat people disrespectfully as well. When people, we're very big, but if we can continue to grow, well, why not?
Marlene Kairouz's senior policy advisor is this man, Nick McLennan. He's paid over $100,000 a year by taxpayers, a job Somyurek got him with a 30 grand pay rise in January 2019. But he's actually being paid by the public to branch stack, even if Somyurek thinks he isn't great at it.
If you get a $40,000 fucking pay rise, you do a quarter of the work you do in electoral office, because that's literally hard work, and you're not doing the factual stuff because that's what you're meant to be doing, you deserve to be fucking punished. It's my fault. Fucking promoting him after that is just so stupid. I just feel so betrayed.
Coming up, the Somyurek master plan.
It's a minister asking somebody to forge signatures. That's just very disturbing.
Taking over the suburbs.
Real little slimy little That's right.
To take over the government.
The stakes when it comes to winning the Labor Party are incredibly high.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
This is going to be relentless. We're just going to go fucking.
One by one, Adem Somyurek has taken over Labor branches all over Victoria.
We're just going to go to town. This is fucking war.
His latest battlegrounds are the suburbs southeast of Melbourne. But for victory, he needs to amass an army of fake Labor Party members.
We got fucking massive numbers. We've got about 30 going in every week.
The stakes when it comes to winning the Labor Party are incredibly high. You're talking about seats in federal parliament, seats in state parliament, who the local mayor's going to be, premiers, prime ministers. The stakes couldn't be higher. And when the stakes are that high, there is always going to be a perverse incentive pushing people to go too far.
Former Labor Senator Sam Dastyari says the ALP has had a problem with branch stacking for decades. What does going too far look like?
Going too far is that moment where to beat someone in an ALP pre-selection or to beat them at an ALP meeting, you get people to turn up, show up, join up to the Labor Party, who don't share your values, who aren't there for the right reasons, and in some cases don't even know they're members of the Labor Party.
One branch Somyurek has declared war on is Cranbourne in Outer Melbourne.
We are going to have so much fucking fun with these people. I'm going to take Cranbourne branch off them. We're going to bring in all our young Labor people that we've just got. Real little fucking slimy little fuckers, right? Real passive-aggressive fucking gay kids, right? It's just sort of doing what they do. Patronising, annoying, and just marshalling people and making sure the paperwork's right.
Somyurek's master plan is to take over Cranbourne so he can replace sitting Labor MP Pauline Richards with one of his cronies. Possibly this man, Manoj Kumar, who is branch stacking for him as well.
Yeah, just put them all to Cranbourne. Yeah, take that branch. Yeah. I mean, this would be, our numbers would be okay for put Pauline out or no? We're just going to show something here.
Somyurek is not used to losing, and the secret tapes reveal how furious he is that his political rivals are attempting their own branch stacks, using what he calls Anglos.
Maybe we do just have a big fucking stack-a-thon. That's all they're doing, stacking Anglos. Anglos just fuck off after a while.
To take on the Anglos, Somyurek enlists the Indian community to help.
The Indians are fucking, we can put 1,000 in. They're all fucking fully resourced. They know the Indians can turn up.
Parliamentary employees like Sapal Patel help deliver the Indians for Somyurek.
Now I work in Adam's office in City.
Once in a month I meet my people, so I can do coordination with them. So once I go, I ask them to sign it, 4 or 5 people, another day 4 or 5 people, another day 4 or 5 people. That's done. Then back, what you call card number and everything. Done.
On the video, Patel admits he's using fake addresses to get new members for Somyurek.
I give my friend's address, take these people who is in Cranbourne right now, ask them to join in the Springvale branch, and they give the address of Springvale somewhere, and after that, once they're through in the Springvale meeting, we can ask them to transfer.
Using fake members is not only banned under Labor Party rules, it may also involve misconduct in public office. What you're about to see is vision showing Somyurek directing a Turkish businessman to forge signatures of branch members.
Bizimkiler hangisi ya? Biliyor musun onların imzalarını? Evet. insanları yıldır okey. Bunlar imzaladı ya işte hepsi.
Yap bunların hepsini koy işte ya.
Nasıl yapıyor bunların imzasını yapıyor?
Kardeşini yap o zaman.
Where is my...
The confused businessman asks how he's meant to sign other people's signatures. Somyurek is insistent. He tells him to forge the signatures of his relatives.
Kardeşini yap o zaman.
Where is my... Why are you doing do all this?
Tamam yapamıyorsan boş ver. Biliyor musun şey yapmayı?
One more time, Somyurek tries to get the businessman to do the wrong thing and sign other people's signatures. But after a while, he appears to give up.
Biliyor musun yapmayı? Besimi de yap.
Besimiz değil, besim oraya demem. Ne zaman istersen.
Getiririz geri boş ver onu.
Look sahip.
Getirelim o zaman ya. Bilmiyorum. Yapamıyorsan güzel getirelim. Artık gerçekten getir onları.
Yeah, next month I can bring the signed people.
Bring them back.
If I say something wrong and
Adem fucked it up.
That's just very disturbing. An attempt to have somebody forge signatures. I mean, that's just as bad as forging them yourself. It seems like the businessman didn't go on to sign, but that doesn't matter. If you attempt to solicit a forgery, that's just as bad as committing the forgery. It's really very disturbing.
Sydney Silk Jeffrey Watson SC says Somyurek's conduct not only breaches ALP rules, it may also be criminal. How seriously does the criminal law look at the forgery or attempted forgery of other people's signatures?
Commonly carries a heavy jail sentence. Years, not months, years. And if there's multiple attempts at it, more so. It's very serious.
Would this be looked at as powerful evidence by, say, a court?
Oh, yes. It's just so bad. It's a minister asking somebody to forge signatures. It's really awful.
What sort of a man do you see in the audio recordings and the video recordings?
One who shouldn't be in Parliament. You just cannot have people who sit in Parliament one day and pass a law and they go out in their private life and break that same law. You can't have that. It undermines any confidence that we can have in our politicians. It's just very wrong.
Coming up.
That's good for business, right?
Following the trail of cash.
So I've packaged it up, given him the dough.
That's the living, breathing definition of corruption.
How this ruthless politician...
Well, if he gets caught on the street, he better not say to do this stuff.
...pays for his power. Morning, Adam. I'd like to ask you some questions about branch stacking. That's next on 60 Minutes. For years, Victorian Government Minister Adem Somyurek was an all-powerful, faceless man of the ALP. Until tonight, he was confident his dirty dealings would never be exposed. These secret audio recordings show he's not even concerned by this 60-minute story.
The story at the end of it will be, I'm this powerful guy. That's good for business, right? They all gravitate towards us. They're not going to get you brand stacking stuff. I don't care. I'm really relaxed. I mean, it's good for business.
He's also relaxed because he believes he'll have the backing of Premier Daniel Andrews no matter what.
Next day, Daniel will be out, the last Daniel. So Daniel Adem Somyurek's a good minister. And that's it. Fucking deal. Just all he has to do is make sure I'm settled and he's got a happy life.
Somyurek controls 2/3 of the Victorian Labor Party, so there's a good reason to keep him happy. But this immense power comes at a cost.
Try not to let people know about the payment stuff, no one. All they know is money appears and they've got to take it if they go bad on us.
When does branch stacking move from okay to immoral or even illegal?
It's when people are being blindsided, being conned, being tricked, fooled into joining a political party, and it corrupts the whole process for everybody.
Why does it corrupt the process?
It corrupts the process when those rules aren't being followed, where people who don't live where they claim to live are fraudulently being put in, when people from ethnic communities who aren't even aware that they've joined a political party are being used to push people out, that's when it crosses the line.
Sam Dastyari used to be a star of the Labor Party. He knew how to play politics hard. But even he says when it came to attracting new members, there was always a clear line that shouldn't be crossed.
Paying for other people's membership is a horrible, dirty tactic. It's also a fool's game. Right? It always ends badly.
You say paying for other people's membership is a dirty game. Why dirty?
Paying for membership can often only be a few steps away from having people who don't know their members of the Labor Party join. That's why the Labor Party is so strict in its rules when it comes to these matters.
In most cases, Somyurek pays for members through men like this. Businessman Ramazan Gunesh. Pressured to forge signatures,
Yap onun hepsini koy işte ya. Nasıl yap ya? Bundan anlayayım zaten ya. Kardeşini yap o zaman.
Somyurek says Ramazan also comes up with the cash for Turkish members.
Ramazan will play for the Turks, the ones he's putting.
Somyurek claims he can also rely on wealthy Indian brothers Alok and Akash Kumar to pay for new Indian members.
The good thing about Indians is they pay, or, you know, people pay for them. But I'd rather not be exposed too much with the Indians.
But on the audio tapes, Somyurek is rightly worried. He knows paying for another's membership clearly breaks ALP rules.
Not if need be, I'm just going to fuck with you, mate. But no, I want to give it to you directly.
In his blind quest for power and control, though, Somyurek makes a key error. Rather than relying on middlemen to do the dirty work, he begins paying for fake members himself, leaving him completely exposed. We're following Somyurek's money trail by tracing a recent branch stack. Earlier this year, dozens of new ALP members suddenly appeared. We're on our way to ask them who really paid for their membership, and if they even know if they've become a member. Are you a real member of the Labor Party?
I don't really, not really, because I just put the application in there.
Who paid for you? Who paid
for me?
Yeah.
I paid for myself.
Some appear to have been forewarned of what to say if someone comes knocking. You told me they gave you a receipt.
Sorry, I'm a bit busy, mate.
That's not true, is it? They did not give you a receipt?
It's true.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Thank you for your time. Others are furious to be caught out.
So I don't want to talk to me. Get the hell out of my house.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of my house right now.
Don't need to get angry.
I'm
Sir,
angry
please, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out of my house
I'm sorry. But some are willing to admit that someone else paid for their membership. Your friend paid for you.
He paid for me, but I say I pay him later.
You said pay him back.
Yeah.
Did you pay him back?
Oh, not yet.
Maybe you didn't know that you have to pay for your own.
No, she didn't know.
Most have only ever been to one branch meeting, and none could name their local Labor member, or even the Premier. What's the name of the Labor leader in Victoria?
What was his name? I'm a bit sleepy, mate.
You can't remember the name of the Labor leader in Victoria. Do you know who your local Labor Party member is?
Local here?
Yeah.
This one I don't know yet.
You don't know who your local Labor Party member
is? I go
is?
to meeting one time, but I
Only
cannot
once.
see the man.
So, who really paid?
I'll give him money. In that case, I'll give it to him tomorrow. He can come tomorrow, and I'll better take money tonight, take another money tomorrow.
In this secret recording, Somyurek is organising a cash drop-off at a suburban shopping centre in southeast Melbourne.
So that's what we'll do. I'll get Nick to pick up from me tomorrow morning, and then Thursday, and then tomorrow he'd come, package it up, and take it in.
Dressed casually, he withdraws a stack of cash from the ATM using 2 bank cards. He then walks back to his car. Soon he is joined by Nick McLennan, the senior policy advisor Somyurek uses to branch stack for him. Inside the blue folder is $2,000 in cash and 34 new membership forms, fake members that can help Somyurek take over Labor branches. How does this evidence strike you?
I've been part of many inquiries. I still find this really very disturbing. This is money passing hands now for a totally improper purpose. And there's a real genuine personal benefit to doing all of this. You stack branches, you get power, you control a faction. It's just terrible. It's really, actually, I find it upsetting.
Director of the Centre of Public Integrity, Jeffrey Watson SC, isn't easily upset. He's made a career out of shining light into dark places of power.
I've never seen anything, nothing approaching this. The fact is that corruption normally occurs in the dark. You find out about it years later, if you ever find out about it. You don't catch people in the act. It's incredible.
You use the word corruption, that's a big word.
Yeah.
Why is that a fitting word?
The gentleman is a minister. That's one of the most trusted characters in our democratic system. You've got to be able to trust them because they wield so much power. If that power is misused, and if it's misused especially for an ulterior motive or for personal benefit, then that's the living, breathing definition of corruption.
But it wasn't the first time these 2 men have exchanged cash for members in a suburban car park. On April 14, Adem Somyurek arrived at the same shopping centre car park to hand over money.
I've packaged giving him the funds. Packaged
This is a recording of Somyurek describing the cash drop-off. The bagman was, again, Nick McLennan.
Well, if he gets caught on the street, he better not say to do stuff like this stuff.
The cash totalled $1,300.
So I've packaged it up, given him the dough, the extra, just so that to take care of money orders and take care of express post. He might have cut corners. He shouldn't because he's got plenty. $6.50 in each envelope.
Somyurek's money pays for fake members, and by controlling hundreds of them, Somyurek can control who gets a seat in Parliament. This also allows him to promise his branch-stacking lieutenants, those doing his dirty work, their own safe seats.
I'm looking after people. That's why I promise people stuff. You know, I do want to promise people.
We repeatedly asked Adem Somyurek for an interview, and he repeatedly refused. Morning, Adam. Sorry to bother you this morning. I'd like to ask you some questions about branch stacking. Why is it that so many of your enemies say that you're involved in branch stacking?
We're going to Parliament. Why don't you just meet me in Parliament?
Could you tell me, are you
going to Parliament right now. I refuse to speak to you outside my house. Let's just speak at Parliament. I'm happy to talk to you in Parliament.
I've asked for an interview. You've said
I'm not running away.
One question, Adam.
I'm not running away.
One
Parliament.
question, are you involved in branch stacking?
I'm going to Parliament, and this is my house.
One question, are you involved in branch stacking? Yes or no?
I'll speak to you in Parliament.
Have you ever paid for somebody else's membership in the ALP? Yes or no, Adam?
My house. I'm happy to talk to you outside Parliament. All right? Let's just go there.
Easy question. What did your enemies say that you were branch stacking across Victoria? Is this correct?
Let's go to Parliament. I'm going to Parliament right now. You know where Parliament is. Let's meet there and let's have a chat there.
It's really simple question. Have you ever paid for somebody else's membership in the ALP?
No, but I will have a chat.
That's a no?
That's a no.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Coming up.
She's a stupid mob.
Losing the women's vote.
Let the f***ing bitch Gabriella hate her guts.
But who cares?
They're dumb. They're stupid.
And not even the leader can escape Somyurek's arrogance.
It's who I say is going to be the Premier.
he should be booted out.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
The Gillard camp had branded Mr Rudd a disloyal psychopath who ran a paralysed and chaotic government.
Most Australians remember the tears when Kevin Rudd was rolled as Prime Minister. Rudd has always blamed the faceless men of the party, the branch stackers and factional warlords, for killing his political career and acting like a cancer on our democracy.
If we believe that politics should be about ideas, ideals, and also policies to change Australia for the better, then anything which happens in a darkened room and in secret to simply organise power for its own sake, in my view, has no place in any mainstream political party. And I regard it as a corruption of the political process, whether it's in the Liberal Party or the Labor Party.
The fact that one man, Adem Somyurek, is arguably more powerful now than the faceless men who rolled you, does that concern you?
The faceless men were powerful enough 10 years ago to remove a democratically elected Prime Minister of the country. If we now have a faceless man with even more power, then he has to be rooted out. Otherwise, it is fundamentally destabilising for our parties and our country's future.
It's hard to believe the faceless men of the Labor Party still wield so much power. But seeing is believing. And Adem Somyurek is living proof they can, as long as they control enough Labor members via branch stacking. Why doesn't Anthony Albanese or Premier Daniel Andrews take Adem Somyurek on? If he's such a cancer, if he's such a Frankenstein.
Capable and competent political leaders like Albo, like Daniel Andrews, have been doing the right thing in pushing back hard against this. But let's face a few realities. Dealing with the Somyurek forces is not for the faint-hearted.
They're all saying that I'm going to kill people.
The secret video and audio tapes reveal just how Somyurek has earned his power in the party. But how does he wield it? As you're about to see, Somyurek believes he has limitless influence over federal and state politicians, including rising federal Labor star Tim Watts.
Tim Watts is like bowing to me. I don't know what they say, but I don't know that. But
Federal opposition whip Joanne Ryan is another Somyurek boasts he toys with.
they should always go out about me. Oh, we fucking recruited 13 a month. And he was taking over Hoppers Crossing branch, so we'll recruit 26 a month in that seat. So she's not happy.
Then there are those in the federal parliament that Somyurek shields, like Deputy Chair of the Intelligence and Security Committee Labor MP Anthony Byrne.
Everyone's got to be concentrated on it.
This is the actual audio of Somyurek, but we've reenacted the vision.
Anthony's got a terrible reputation. Everyone thinks he's a waste of space. I don't. I protect him. I have to stop articles talking about Anthony Byrne being going. Right? I say he's got my protection, he's going nowhere.
And there are those Somyurek is working to remove, not via democratic means at the ballot box, but by sheer behind-the-scenes power.
I did call in Robert Mitchell and told him that he needs to think about his future. He was just going, oh, still power. I said, no, mate, it's about fairness. It's about the stability of the right.
Another on his hit list is left faction federal MP Julian Hill.
I'm looking forward to this, actually. In between second councils and stuff, I'll be second. Everywhere we go, we've got to say, well, what you did was an act of fucking war. You just dropped a bomb on us. And we're going to go nuclear.
In the Victorian Parliament too, Somyurek has marked MPs for career execution. And on his hit list is anyone who stands in his way.
Yeah, no, fuck them. They're going to die. The new generation of leaders are going to be taught a lesson.
Victoria's Minister for Women and the Prevention of Family Violence, Gabrielle Williams, is one of those who Somyurek is planning to politically finish.
In fact, take that fucking bitch Gabrielle out. I hate her guts. We were in our Parliament last week saying Adam's trying to mock off Daniel Andrews. I got no idea. When Daniel's going to go soon, she's just so fucked. They don't know. They're dumb. They're stupid. All these little fuckers, like Gabrielle and all, they don't know how fucked they are. Fall through out of the mystery. That fucking stupid bitch. When Andrews goes, she's a stupid, stupid mole.
If he can end a political career, he can also start one. Somyurek has been cutting deals with people who control Labor branches. The deal is simple. If they hand over their branch-stacked members to Somyurek, he promises them a seat in Parliament. The beauty of the plan is he now owns them.
Hey.
When MP Hong Lim stood down in 2018, Somyurek gave his ally Meng Hyang Tak his seat.
Whereas Hong used to be this fucking whinging turd. He's not like that. It's like, I got you in, you've got to do as I say. And so I rang him up, I said, wait, what's going on? He said he's saying, I said, no. I said, you've only got how many votes? Delegates? It's 19 delegates. We put you for pre-selection and you hand your votes over.
Hey, from now on...
This is a recording of Somyurek actually calling Heng and directing him to stack a local ALP branch.
From now on, every month we're going to call 13 people, put 13 people through the branches in Bruce. Okay? We have to do this. We're all in this together. Okay? We're in a war.
Somyurek makes it clear that with his extraordinary power, he can issue orders with impunity. Not even Anthony Albanese's power in the party is a roadblock.
I'm having discussions with people that are close to Albo. Who's going to protect Albo?
Somyurek ultimately believes it is he, and not the people of Victoria or the Labor Party, who should decide who leads the state if Daniel Andrews steps down.
Great, because they think they've got the Premier. Fuck the Premier. Right? That's what this is about. Fuck the Premier.
I would just frame the joint. Like, it's who I say is going to be the fucking Premier.
If Adem Somyurek's involved in cash drop-offs in car parks, encouraging people to forge signatures, industrial-scale branch stacking, what should Anthony Albanese and Daniel Andrews do about it?
If these things are proven in the case of Somyurek, then there's no place for Somyurek in the Australian Labor Party. None whatsoever. He should be booted out. Very simple. And if they've fallen foul of the law, throw the book at them.
And that's our program for tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with another edition of 60 Minutes. I'm Nick McKenzie. Good night.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.